now is the time to be searching for these Wii games at value prices, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Is some Wii finds I've been, finding for value prices. First off, we have Ghost Squad. Ghost Squad is an overlooked game published by Sega. It's a light gun game arcade game that was ported to the Wii. So the Wii remotes take the place of the light gun controller for and for all the action and fun. And it's pretty much just a port of the arcade game. It has 1 through 4 players, and it can get intense and aggressive, and you can unlock costumes as well.
How much did you pick that one up for?
Ghost Squad was a $3 video game. I would say it's worth the $3. It when it was in its prime, it had the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection compatibility. Brought to us by Sega, rated teen for the Wii. So pick this one up if you're a fan of light gun shooters. If you like Time Crisis, or maybe you're a fan of Resident Evil Dead Aim. Maybe you're a fan of the zombie movies, but hey, you couldn't get into Resident Evil because you thought it was too slow. But you could get into Resident Evil Dead Aim. Then pick up Ghost Squad for the Wii.
if you thought you could have liked this other game, then get into this game.
Next we have Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Tony Hawk has seen a lot of ups and downs in his career, right? He's seen the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's seen the rising of numbers in the series. But a lot of times people say they're declining in quality. That's why they start numbering. It's a little known fact. Once they hit 4, they realize that they hit their prime, and they could only go downhill from there. So from Underground Dawn, they stopped using the number system. But with the Wii, we have Downhill Jam that was released around the same time as Tony Hawk's Project 8 for the Xbox 360, later to be on the PlayStation 3, also on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. That was the real Tony Hawk game, whereas the Wii owners got this launch title, Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. This is basically a 4-player racing game. It's like SSX. You take the Wiimote and you steer it like you're riding a skateboard, this motion.
Yeah.
And you steer your skateboard and you steer your skater. And the one thing I liked about it was that everybody had a backstory and the characters had a lot of development. They had a lot of depth to them. There was a lot of interaction between the characters, and I felt like, I just felt like I was not expecting deep, engrossing, and rich story.
So much character,
Right, yeah.
There's a lot of good representation too, It's not a bunch of, dude skaters. In fact, all Tony Hawk's the only real skater in the game. The rest are just fictitious, made-up people.
For all you Bob Burnquist fans, please
just skip this one.
Skip this one. Get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. But if you're a Bob Burnquist fan and maybe Bob's been letting you down a little bit, check this one out. Because you might find some fun on the ramps. You'll be going downhill a lot. You'll be doing some high-speed races. You'll be getting a lot of thrills. And I think you'll have a blast with Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam.
It's all downhill from here.
Next we
How much was that? How much?
Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam was also $3. It's rated everyone 10+, and it's brought to us by Activision. As for the Wii, Emergency Mayhem was 99 cents. I'm gonna knock that out there.
You get what you pay for.
This game was actually developed by Acclaim. Remember Acclaim? They're kind of on the same level of Crave, if you think about it.
They've got some acclaim
above, yeah. But they originally started developing Emergency Mayhem for the GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox era, but that failed because it was just too big of a game, too ambitious. I feel like if you're gonna make a spiritual successor to Crazy Taxi, what can you really do? They pretty much just did that, I guess. They just kind of made a spiritual successor to Crazy Taxi. You go around and you do mini games. It's brought to us by Codemasters, so thank you, Video Masters. You know, I'm glad your site's still around. And yeah, the mini games kind of suck and they're really hard to do. It's just a kind of difficult game, but it's got a pretty good premise. So check this one out if you're looking for, you know, EMT training, or you want to be a cop or a fireman. And that will sum up this collection block. But
A fire person.
I guess the one thing that we're gonna bring back a hit from the past, a blast from the past, if you will. That's cool. And that will be Dragon Blade Wrath of Fire. I cannot stress how important this game has been to me, and I wish, you know, everyone would play this game. Dragon Blade Wrath of Fire for the Wii. You like God of War, you're gonna love this game. It's great fun. You know, there's a ton of action. There's cutscenes. There's stuff like that. There's barrels to hit, and there's a lot of cool stuff you can do in this game. And you know what's really cool is that you can turn your sword. You can get it flaring. You can get it fiery, and then you can just go around whipping enemies with your fire sword. And I guess it's called Dragon Blade Wrath of Fire, so you expect it at some point. So spoilers, but I don't know. It's a blast to play. It's a lot of fun. Control's great. You know, this is kind of the definition of a Wii game at its full potential. Overlooked, definitely underrated. Give Dragon Blade a chance. Hopefully we'll see that sequel. Alright, see you later guys. Full Motion Cinema, Steven out.